It also does considerable damage once you get 2-3 items, and also the range is quite incredible after you've done your trampoline.
Yep, there you go. So, weapon battle. So weapon battle is definitely very, very strong, and let's see if the players will actually pick this up, because draft is ready. So Minimiter, take it away.
Thank you for that. So without further ado, we're going to head on into the draft.
Dun dun dun. So that is just an extra music. Anyways, just jumping into the draft, or the supposed third game of the day. We have J3X Inferno on the blue side, and of course Infamous on that red side. We talked about draft a little before the game even started, the weapon battle and all the good things. But honestly, coming back into 2.8, coming back into Southeast Asia meta-wise, we see a Black Feather being banned out, and it has been prioritized for a lot of games, or rather the first game we saw today as well. Black Feather banned throughout, if not then picked up by either team.
Yeah, the Idris ban as well. It's very, very common to see something like that. I think they really want to just not play against it, because it's just a very strong pick. And now we're seeing a first pick on Grace. We saw Grace banned away in the previous game and just not picked at all in the very first game. So they're very different between these two teams, between the 8 teams in SEA. J3X have gone, right, if you're going to let us pick it, we're going to go straight for the Grace. And of course, Infamous respond with the Lance. That was most likely Captain, but as we know, it could be Weapon. And now Crawl is quite a common ban, maybe a Glaive, just to try and, Infamous do like to ban Glaive, just to get it off the fold.
Yep, Glaive would be a good ban at this point in time. But the Lance pickup coming out from the side of Infamous, as we said earlier on, we have seen an emergence in Lance for 2.8, whereas for Grace, she has kind of faded out in terms of meta, in Southeast Asia at least. But I'm not surprised actually, because with that Sky being banned out, J3X Inferno will ban out maybe like, say, a Scarf, or even one of the majors, if not then Castro, and then pick up a Grace for themselves, because Grace and Glaive just work so well together.
Yeah, the cool ban actually was from J3X this time. So Glaive is left open for Infamous if they want to pick it with Lance. That could work really well. And of course, as you said, a mage like Celeste or Scarf could be Glaive's the most likely decision, and they are going to go for it. So now J3X could respond to this. There's a lot of dive, a lot of CC that Infamous have picked up. Obviously, counter that is Black Feather, that they banned it away themselves. They're going to have to go, maybe I could see a Gwen with that skedaddle to try and stop those impales being too deadly and being chained into an afterburn, and then you're going to get bursted down very quickly. So we could see that in the lane, but it's most likely to be, okay, they're going to go Vox, and then Celeste is still open. That would still be a good pick, but they might want to go for more dive with Disgrace. So maybe a Taka.
Yep, Taka would be a good pickup, but we've seen as well in the previous week Reza. Granted, yep, I know the viewers will probably be raging at this point in time, because a caster actually said Reza. I mean, Taka is definitely on the table, but Reza, we saw Impunity picking it up. Granted, it wasn't exactly an easy game for Impunity when they picked up that Reza, but I think Reza just synergized a little better with Grace as compared to the other captains, because for Reza you want to dive really, really deep, and of course you have invulnerability period as well with your Netherform detonator, and the amount of damage you put out in the early game, if you can sustain, which Grace can actually help you with, is definitely just immense. However, the side of J3X Inferno, they will go for the safe pick. They will pick up that of Celeste, even though Infamous has got a Glaive in their hands.
Yeah, Celeste is a bit risky. They've got a lot of squishy heroes with double dive already picked up from Infamous, and they're going to go Scarf, and since those 3 heroes don't really synergize very well. Glaive and Lance are very engage heavy, and Scarf's a backline mage to poke. But the reason they picked Scarf is because there isn't that much CC. The Grace Holy Nova is quite easy to just dodge, and the Core Collapse obviously is going to be blocked by Scarf himself. And so Scarf, really, the Dragon's Breath isn't going to be cancelled by anything. Scarf v Celeste is very even. and we could even see a lane glaive or a jungle glaive. What do you expect? Do you think they're going to push that glaive into lane to try and counter Vox, or maybe they'll just keep glaive in jungle and have Scarf to try and poke Vox?
Coming from history, and history definitely will repeat itself, we will probably see Chingy on that glaive, and then of course we have Spaghetti on that Scarf being in lane. If that is the case, then definitely Infamous will have the better early game and easier early game as well. And on top of that as well, Scarf has got greater poke as compared to Celeste pre-level 8. So that is one thing that maybe J3X Inferno has to keep in mind if they come up for an engage of sorts. Even then, Gray's very good with, you know, just the early game. Gray's very good with very early game ganks because of your benediction and your ability to just dive into the back lines, even with Lance just supporting that of Scarf. But with that, you put yourself in a very vulnerable position. And with that, Scarf, granted, you know, can just burn you down immediately if you dive in too deep. So it is just down to execution, and if execution-wise, we cannot deny that Infamous is just so much better, both mechanically in terms of macros and micros.
Yeah, definitely. Infamous do seem to be the stronger team, and so I think the Scarf play is going to be extremely strong, and I think they're going to be able to probably outpoke the Celeste. And then definitely it's down to Nibim, down to Baby to see if they can land the poke, because Vox obviously will be able to poke better than Glaive, obviously with a little bit of range.
Okay. So seeing the lineup coming out from Infamous, we have a weapon lance. So there you have it.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, what is Shingy going to captain? Shingy has picked up the lance and Uni has picked up the Glaive. So we're actually going to see a roam Glaive and a weapon lance. This is really smart from Infamous because Vox is now going to be a jungle lance, like almost certainly, because Shingy's a jungler. And this means that the ganks are going to be a lot easier to execute because Uni will be the first with the afterburn to put Vox out of position. Then he can Sonic Zoom to try and run away, but the Impale will then almost guarantee to connect. Kahlua on the Grace is going to have not much to keep this Vox alive. So Shingy's really going to try and follow in the first game. It's going to be Shingy on the captain position. Shingy's picked up a protector contract. We're now loading into the Halcyon Fold, and it's crazy to see that Shingy's decided, my Glaive's amazing, but I think Uni's probably better.
Well, this is quite a turnaround for me. I mean, granted, Uni has been a starter. He has been a carry for the side of Infamous, but because of how things have changed, you know, in Split 1 itself, I just thought that, you know, Chingy would just be on the Glaive and Uni would just settle for the captain role. But we are going to see them just going to settle on the respective roles pre-merge. So as the viewers that do not know, Infamous actually merged with Popeyes, and thus you see, you know, a few Popeyes players in Infamous, and there you have it. But honestly, if you were to ask me, I think the merge is very clever, and it just covers up weakness that Infamous once had. So all in all, Kahlua going into lane.
We're going to Nibim Bim though, who's taken so much damage. There's the Impale and the core clap land on Spaghetti, keeping Nibim Bim alive, but Shingy may not be able to survive. He will, just barely. And it looked like that was a good engage from J3X Inferno, but in the end, it was turned around by Infamous, and that's going to be the Impale landing onto Baby. There's the Holy Nova, actually completely misses anything. So now Baby's going to use the healing fast to try and stay alive. Uni without boots is going to be able to get one basic, not quite able to chase down Baby. With the Sonic Zoom, going to be able to get away. And now Glaive wants to screw this Elder Tree and will easily be able to do so. Spaghetti probably going to push his wave in a little bit and then rotate to take the back to the Glaive.
Yep, very smart play early on. A lot of early aggression coming out from Infamous so far. I mean, granted, all in all, they have a much more stronger comp in terms of rotations throughout. But I wasn't expecting, I mean, this is very like Infamous. Infamous has been known to be just so very aggressive in that an early game, just try to push as much advantage as they possibly can. But even then, with this amount of aggression, I think it is just subsidized by the fact that, you know, J3X Inferno was just so haphazard with how they were positioned just now, allowing Chingy to actually land two roots, two impales, and on top of that as well, if Chingy had the Keaton wall, definitely it would be a secured kill for the side of Infamous in this early game.
Yeah, and Spaghetti, they're actually deciding to just hyper farm this Scarf. Shingy out of position, but he's going to push Kahlua out of the Holy Nova, still going to get some of the core collapse, and Shingy able to get away. Uni going in onto Baby, taking a lot of damage, but Healing Blast will keep him... the Protector contract from Kahlua is what kept him nice and alive. But Shingy is quite low, but Infamous still deciding to go for this Elder Treant. We'll be able to get it. Spaghetti actually secures that. And this Uni did get it instead, so that's good to keep him healthy. But they are definitely hyper farming Spaghetti. He's taking almost all of the jungle and then trying to rotate up to his lane. This is really interesting that Uni's going to be more of a peel for Spaghetti, and they just want to hyper farm Scarf to get to the point where he out damages Bim Celeste.
Yep, and we've seen this as well coming out from Infamous in the previous week. But then Spaghetti, Kahlua.
They're just going to do a little bit of poke on Spaghetti. Bim now does come up to lane with those Helios. Impale lands onto Kahlua, but so the core collapse actually does just barely miss onto Shingy. Now Spaghetti's going to try and farm this wave under the turret. Going to miss one minion, it's not too bad, but it's good from J3X Inferno pushing the wave up. And they're in a good position to try and siege this turret down. If they just block the Spitfire from Scarf, then there's really no damage on those minions. And Impale does land, Spitfire onto Baby, so is the Goop. He's going to Sonic Zoom out of it, so not too much from J3X. And they're now going to rotate towards the jungle of Infamous, going to take away the mid-Treant. But Infamous, in return, push their own turret, and the Impale does land, not quite onto Baby, but onto Kahlua. Nice stun, but the Spitfire does not quite land, and now Infamous going to back off. Spaghetti can pick up a Frostburn.
Yep, and this is we saw this as well in that last week when Spaghetti was hyper farmed by Chingy, so much so that but Spaghetti then was on the Celeste, and we all know for a fact that Spaghetti is just gruesomely good on that Celeste, and there was really no chance for the other team. They spotted out a little too late and just tried to hyper farm the carry as well, but it was just a tad too late. But however,
Baby gonna get impaled up, and the Goop does not get ignited, so that won't be too much damage onto Baby. Minion candy was used by Bim to try and push this wave into the turret of Infamous, and will be very successful. That wave is far under the turret, so Spaghetti is unable to really poke, but he's going to go in now onto Baby. Dodges out the impalement. It's not enough. First blood goes to Dave. Second blood will go to the Grace, getting the return kill. Now Spaghetti trying to do the work he can. Level 6, Bim using Healing Flask to keep himself topped up on energy, able to throw those Helios down. He's still only level 6, so the poke is much more in Scarf's favour at this point. And yeah, Spaghetti happy to just back off after his team secured the first blood, and not too much turret damage on either side. Just both teams going to back off.
Yep, all in all, I think in the late game itself, we saw how Uni has to dive into the back lines, and without that first turret down, without that extra map control that Infamous can possibly have, had they just went on with their siege earlier on, then Spaghetti would have a hard time going up against Bim on the Celeste. We all know Bim, or rather Celeste itself, is really good when she reaches level 8. And one thing more, it's that once Celeste has got her items and has got stuns available to her, that will be...
Yeah, Kahlua going to be out of position here. He's going to use the triple Holy Nova. Does quite connect before the Githian will knock back, and wait for it does go down. Core collapse doesn't quite land on Shiggy. Going to use the Healing Flask to keep himself alive. Spaghetti taking a little bit of poke from that Vox Sonic Zoom. And now J3X are in a really good position to try and seize this turret. Scarf doing our best to try and kill the minions, and that is a great Goop Spitfire combo. So the turret siege is just not going to be there for J3X. There's almost no time for them to try and seize that turret. Double Impale, double Githian Wall. The Goop's not quite there, but that is a lovely afterburn onto Baby. He's going to take a lot of damage. Blood Song does not quite pick up the kill, but Scarf is able to get Kahlua on the back line. And one more basic onto Baby. Not quite able to secure the kill. So he's going to have to put home. Bim now trying to defend this turret. That's very risky. Glaive afterburn in 5 seconds. Lance Impale is already up. Bim is playing it very risky. Impale does land. That's going to be one more basic attack from anyone. Probably pick up Bim. But the turret will fall, and Celeste stays alive. Infamous still ahead. B-side, as always, are ahead, but it is not a flawless game. Both teams have lost to death. Baby able to secure the healing treant away from Uni. Uni forced to use the healing flask before he goes to shot, pick up a block, and actually work towards Poison Shiv as opposed to getting the block. Interesting.
Yep, and we saw this coming out from Infamous before when Chingy was on this glaive, and the amount of damage that Chingy can put out with just a tension bow and a poison shift is just insane. And on top of that as well, with the poison shift, it kind of just syncs well with Bloodsong, right? You have an extra sustain, and with your every basic attack, when you build up your Bloodsong stacks, you have, you know, sustain as well. On top of that, with Grace on the line, having the poison shift and an extra mortal wound will definitely do your team just a little more good as compared to, say, going for the not Shatter Glass, or rather Sorrow Blade into the tension bow, or tension bow into that Sorrow Blade.
Yeah, so Spaghetti trying to farm this wave up, and J3X trying to push the wave. Neither of them is now level 8. This is a really good time for them to either siege, force a fight, or try and force an objective. They are most likely to win, especially with an infusion on Nibim Bim, and Baby able to pick up a full Sorrow Blade. This is a really good time for J3X. They look like they do want to go in a little bit aggressive. Baby almost face checking, but a good flare. Spots out Shingy. Looks like Uni's just going to rotate the shop, and he now can complete his full poison shift. So that's really good timing for Infamous. It was J3X that managed to pick up their tier 3s, so Infamous able to pick it up at the same time. Shingy, though, could be out of position, but he could be able to get away. A bit of damage from Vox, but now Uni is up in lane, trying to get a good afterburn. He's going to go forwards, standing on the Helio, but Celeste is too far back to be able to make it go Supernova. And now there's just a bit more wave clear. Both teams trying to poke out. Spaghetti is landing more than Celeste is. Glaive's going to rotate to the jungle, so Infamous aren't going to fight. They could be caught out. Goop is very preemptive to try and clear this wave. I think he'll still be able to do so. And yeah, he's just going to light the Goop to clear the wave and then rotate to the backs. Maybe no, he's not going to be able to get there. It's far too aggressive from J3X if Spaghetti wanted to rotate down. It's really smart to stop the hyper farm. It's just force him to stay in lane. There's an impale. Does land Nibim. That could be the engage. Boots used by Nibim. Uni's just standing there. Go in with the afterburn. There we go. Onto Baby. There's the holy divine intervention from Baby. Onto Baby, sorry, from Kahlua, and wait for it to come through, but was not needed. Celeste with the Solar Storm, able to pick up Glaive, and Uni was just a little bit too aggressive without using the afterburn. He just kind of stood there, not doing much, and this is easy tier 1 turret for J3X in return.
Yep, and that is really the problem that we are seeing right now. It's that, you know, Uni and Chingy really has to play in sync at this point in time, just chain all the CCs together. But what happened then is that if just looking at what Nibim is building, Nibim has got a Frostburn, did not go for the Eve of Harvest, a second item pickup, immediately just went onto Dead of Clockwork. So that is definitely one thing. And you pointed out one just now earlier on that Nibim has got more stars and a lot more poke as compared to Spaghetti. And that is really just the nature of Celeste. Celeste, and what differentiates, you know, these two mages is just that Spaghetti's poke, you know, granted, you know, Spitfire has got a 1-ish second cooldown, but what Nibim can do is just place landmines, whereas, you know, Spaghetti's Spitfire, it goes out of him and it just disappears afterwards, and the next Spitfire do not have a supernova effect like that of Heliogenesis coming out from Celeste. So that is one thing that, you know, Infamous have to watch out for, and has to be really decisive of which fights to pick up.
There's going to be the engage from Shingy. Impale does land. Paul that does not quite stop. There's Uni going in to get now with him on the back line, and now it's a lot of damage onto the Lua. Forced to use the Crucible, and Divine Intervention Fountain still up. So this is good for J3X. Fountain forced to be used by Shingy to keep himself alive. Shingy able to back away. Divine Intervention actually used on Vox already, and the Fountain. Uni offburn. That's a great timing, but the Spitfire doesn't quite land. Goop will though, and Shingy does trade his life for Baby. Uni offburn in 6 seconds. Spaghetti going to go in very aggressive. Does land the Goop though, so that will be a kill onto Nibim. Now Baby, what are you going? Kahlua is going to try and run away. Uni is going to try and chase the offburn. Probably Ace going to be able to pick up the kill, and that is a double for Glaive and Ace for Infamous. And will probably be a gold mine and probably not a turret.
Yeah, probably not a turret at this point in time. I mean, Infamous, the gold mine definitely is worth more at this point in time as compared to the tier 2 turret. The tier 2 turret provides with 300 gold, so very good decision making coming out from Infamous, not trying to push that turret, and with that very low cooldown timers, all in all, definitely it will be in favor of Infamous. And there is one thing that I want to point out as well, it's that we saw this. As long as Infamous, they are very decisive with the team fights, goes in, you know, just pick out the target, concentrate on the target, then definitely they will have the upper hand. Whereas if they are going to just dilly-dally and just pussy feed into the team fights, then, you know, the poke coming out from Nibin Beam and of course Baby on that Fox as well will out-sustain or rather out-damage the amount of poke and damage coming out from the side of Infamous.
Yeah, Infamous really need to be the first team going in. They can't let themselves just keep getting poked out. But Baby's taking a lot of poke from Spaghetti, and that will be a great afterburn and an easy kill onto Nibin Bim. No fountain, no crucible, no nothing from Galua to try and keep him alive, and that will be the nice fountain and the nice intervention to keep Baby alive. But it's not going to be too effective, given that Baby's taking these 8 broken mid-stack Spitfires from Spaghetti, and now J3X look like they are going to be able to defend this turret. Galua tanking up the Spitfires, but maybe not. Uni actually going to afterburn Galua out of position. And he's going to fall. That will be another kill and possibly the turret. Yeah, the minions are there. That will be an easy turret for Infamous. Maybe going to try and defend the Solar Storm a little bit late to try and pick up Uni. Uni actually could be a bit out of position. Sentry is there, and so is Nibin Bim. I'm going to go aggressive, but Spaghetti is going to be able to get the tree, do a bit of poke, and Uni will be able to get away. So, not too much, but I hold that thought. Spaghetti's taking a lot of damage, but so is Nibin Bim. Afterburn comes through. Baby's going to take a lot of damage as well, but he does manage to get the kill on to Spaghetti. Baby not able to kite away. Galua was up, so it's not an ace. But lots of kills in a row for him.
Lots of kills. I mean, not only for Infamous, but traded throughout the board. But Infamous being so objective, controlling, and just so well with how they are going to plot their objective and the way they are taking it. So they are going to go for the gold mine. Hopefully, it will not be stolen by Galua on that. Grace, and Grace have got a very good ability, you know, good abilities to actually go in for the gold mine, but Galua just taking a tad too much damage to actually try to steal her. Solar Storm comes out, but just helps Infamous clear that gold mine a little fast.
Little bit early on the Solar Storm, but Galua had to back off, couldn't provide any vision. So Nibin Bim doing his best to try and steal that away. Yeah, not quite able to do so. Spaghetti, 175 CS. Now he's going to get this twin, and that is a very good position to be in. He's got his boots, he's got his infusion. No, he hasn't got any infusion actually. He picked up tier 2 boots instead. So this is really a good time for Infamous to fight, because the later on they go, if they get to around 16 minutes, Scarf is going to be completely fully built and just accumulating useless gold. At which point Uni's going to have to be trying to take all the lane farm. And so Infamous are really this is the point where the hyper carry comp comes through. They're about 4k gold ahead. Spaghetti's infused, fully built in terms of damage and defense. Just needs to pick up some boots, and they are going to go in. Shingy is going to be the front line, waiting for the impale. It does land on Baby. He slowly zooms away, and the core collapse does land on to Shingy. Teams are swapped sides. This is a bit interesting. Which team's going to be the first to back off? And Uni's going to take the Helio Supernova and another Helio, but going to be able to get away from that. And now Nibin Bim does not have any broken myth to try and stack up, whereas Spaghetti is stacking up, but they have now fallen off. There's going to be Super Helio landing, and both teams just trying to poke. The group a bit too preemptive. Baby is waiting, but he walks into the Spitfire, and now Infamous are going to be the ones to back off. Are they going to be able to get to their side of the map? Probably not. J3X are in a terrible position. If they fight now, they have to back off either to Sentry or to Turret, and they are going to fight. They can do a lot of damage actually. Going to go in again. They're afterburn, pushing Shingy away. That's pushing Nibin Bim away. That's not what you want. Shingy taking the brunt of the suit of the Solar Storm from Celeste. Impale does miss. That should be a kill. No, great crucible by Shingy to keep himself alive through the Supernova. Afterburn does land. Is blocked by Nibin Bim, and there's the Dragon's Breath being done. He blocks the core collapse. He's going to shred through the whole of the team. Spaghetti with the Dragon's Breath, 9 broken myth stacks, triple kill, and the ace.
That is the first ace of the game, if I remember correctly, and I guess hyper farming Spaghetti works every single game, whether or not Spaghetti is as a Celeste, if not then as the little firecracker dragon that he is on at this point in time. So honestly, at the point in time, I really thought that Infamous would have would lose that team fight, because what happened then was Chingy and Uni just took a little too much unnecessary damage in that of lane. So when they actually moved down into the jungle to try to team fight, they were at about 3/4, if not then half health, and thus Chingy actually fell first. And I thought Juni will be next, and then immediately the entirety of J3X Inferno can just jump onto Spaghetti, but Spaghetti's Dragon's Breath just did so much damage, shred through the entirety of J3X Inferno, and honestly, they had got nothing whatsoever on Spaghetti on this Firecracker Dragon.
Yeah. This is what I was talking about earlier on. With Spaghetti having that Dragon's Breath, he has to dodge the Holy Nova and block Core Collapse, and that's it. He dodged the Holy Nova, then he blocked the Core Collapse, and he just shredded with that Dragon's Breath with 9 broken mid stacks. Really nothing that neither of them can do against that, because he hasn't got a broken mid. Maybe going to get impaled, but Scarf's just trying to push this turret. That is Divine Intervention used already, and the Echo used by Clua to try and keep that Divine Intervention up again for the next team fight. Spaghetti getting no poke onto the turret. Clua has to force bounce on himself. Here's Spaghetti coming in with the Dragon's Breath. Not actually going to get onto any of the members. Now he's going to Baby. Focus on the Vein Crystal now. Uni going to do a lot of damage. So is Spaghetti, and that will be game 1 going to Infamous.
Well, that is very expected. I mean, not exactly the cleanest performance coming out from Infamous as compared to the other teams that we've seen so far. But all in all, very well played coming out from both teams, especially since Chingy actually took out their role, or rather did not just go on the jungler role and just settled for the roamer. So the setup Infamous do not have the dedicated roamer, but all in all, still very mechanically strong coming out from Infamous, and thus they can just clear out this game. But of course, good try for J3X Inferno as well. In that of the mid game, when Celeste started getting her power spikes, when she has got that clockwork, and they actually won a team fight. They pushed the turret, won a team fight, but from then on, it was when Spaghetti actually got a 4th damage item, and it was just very GG when Spaghetti reached that stage of fully hyper fun.
Yeah, definitely. Uni was just there with a tension bow, with the Shiv to try and lower the healing, and was really a second support just for Spaghetti, try and peel for him if anyone decided to dive in, which really didn't happen and isn't going to happen with the comp J3X had picked. And so I think, yeah, hyper farm Spaghetti was a smart decision, and it just works for Infamous so much. I think the fact that Xingyi as a jungler was forced to play in the captain position isn't that bad, because Infamous play so well as a team. They know how to combo their skills together. And so Xingyi just has to time the abilities, which is a skill in itself, but the skill of timing your abilities with the team isn't that bad, because he just now has to time the activatables at the right time. And if you don't have to focus on what the rest of your team is doing, because you know that they can do it themselves, that really does help someone who's not comfortable in captain to be able to play it to a high standard.
Definitely. And also, I mean, Lance in itself is a very solid weapon carry role. So I'm sure Chingy has played it once or twice, and thus Lance was picked up for the side of Infamous because of just the comfortability. Because if you cannot play a certain role, if you're on a hero that you're rather comfortable with, then all in all, I guess you can land those critical skill shots or critical skills, abilities at least, and with that your allies can just chain those together and just bring yourself to victory. But coming into the second game itself, with J3X Inferno actually having knowledge that Infamous do not have a dedicated roamer, what do you think Minimizer J3X would do?
Yeah, J3X really need to think about this draft. They need to be ready to try and deny Xingyi those comfort picks, because Xingyi will not be comfortable on Arden, will not be comfortable on Lyra, will be comfortable on heroes like Lance, maybe Glaive, possibly even a Grace, because Grace we've seen in the jungle before. So J3X definitely should know this and should try and draft accordingly, but we are going to find out now because the draft is ready. Without further ado, let's head on into the draft.
So we are into draft at this point in time, and like you say, the side of J3X Inferno really have to draft accordingly. But now we have Infamous on the blue side and J3X Inferno on that red side. First ban coming out from the side of Infamous, we have Black Feather followed by a Grace.
I really hope that Infamous don't first pick Celeste here, because it just doesn't seem to be that smart. It's Celeste first pick just not working almost every time. And they are going to first pick Lance. That's very likely to be on Xingyi. So despite the fact that that J3X wanted to try and deny Grace away from Infamous, because that's probably a comfort pick as well, they let Lance through. So now Uni will be free to pick whatever jungler he wants to play, and Xingyi's most likely to be comfortable on this Lance. That's a really important draft for Infamous. They managed to get a comfort pick on their not so comfortable captain, Now, obviously, Celeste could be picked on B side by J3X. I think that would be... They pick Celeste Van Scarf here. That's really good for them. They've Black Feathers away. Can't counter the Celeste. So is the Scarf. The problem with that is you're against the Lance. So the Celeste could be in a bit of trouble. What do you think of this Adagio pick? Do you expect that to be a carry or a captain? We haven't seen a lot of Adagio at all, really.
This is something that I didn't want to talk about when I saw J3X Inferno. But
is it going to be weapon? Is it going to be weapon?
It might be. There is
Weapon Adagio. I don't feel like it's that strong, like at all. It's like a worse version of Weapon Petal because he has like less range, less damage, and a tiny bit of sustain with a very, very unreliable stun. But we never know. I guess we'll see later on the draft what J3X are going to do, whether they want to go with his Weapon Adagio or if they want to put it on CP or even put it to Kahlua as captain. So I think CP will probably be the best decision. Maybe with something like, obviously, Glaive and Blackfeather out off the table. We've seen a lot of drafts where Glaive, Cruel, Blackfeather just get taken away straight away because they don't want to play these assassins. Seem too strong.
Yep, that is a good sign. Vox being picked up by the side of J3X Inferno. Definitely a good sign. It means we will not be seeing a weapon carrier Adagio. So thank you, J3X Inferno. But for the side of Infamous, options. They have got so much on the table for themselves to just pick up and just override the team comp coming out for the side of J3X Inferno. They can basically pick up a Castrol, weapon Castrol, put it up in lane, and then it will just outpoke that of Fox, and they can have another mage in which Spaghetti excels using. So there you have it. So J3X, or rather the side of Infamous at this point in time, a lot of options that's open up for them. They can maybe just go for the safetier pickup, with that. Glaive is off the table. So yeah, the safest pickup would be that of Castro. If not, then Idris. Idris is still on the line. And then, or a mage. A Samuel would do well against a Fox because of the early game, the amount of burst that you have. If not, then Weapon Petal, please. I just want to see a Weapon Petal.
Maybe one point today we will see Weapon Petal brought out. I doubt that J3X are going to bring it out with their Weapon Vox, unless they go CP Vox, which would be not at all good against Kestrel. I think that this last pick, Samuel again, makes a lot of sense, and they are going to pick it up. So this is a really good poke comp for Infamous. Uni going to be playing that Samuel and Spaghetti. Will be pretty comfortable on the Weapon Kestrel. I think Vox is not great against both these heroes, and they have to pick Dive to try and counter this, because you cannot try and outpoke this comp. Even if they pick the Scarf or Celeste, it really wouldn't do that well, because Vox cannot poke, whereas Celeste and Samuel both can. So I think, yeah, J3X are forced to go for an Assassin, maybe even a Reza, because there's only Lance to try and deny you diving in. Obviously, Tapu would be an easy pick, but no, they're going to go Celeste. I don't like the draft from J3X. I think Infamous have got double poke. They have a better captain, just full stop. And whereas J3X have got reasonable poke and a worse captain. So I just think, not putting any bias, but I think Infamous have got a better draft for this game.
Honestly, the draft and the team comp coming out from the side of J3X Inferno, looking at it strategically, it is nada. There is nothing strategic about that. But what J3X Inferno may be trying to achieve at this point in time is really just want the Infamous to just jump onto them and fight within the zone. Because that is what the Celeste, Vox, and Adagio does and excels at. It's when enemies come to them and fight in them, with them.
I do agree, but Infamous have no reason to go and
there you go,
and then win the game.
That is a problem right now. So,
yeah.
So strategically, it is J3X Inferno. There is nothing strategic about the draft. As for the side of Infamous, very robust looking, all in all. Like I said, for Samuel, if you want to play Samuel very well, you just really need to push early game advantage, and that is something that Infamous just excels in overall. So I must agree with you, I do not like the draft whatsoever. Whatever pickup coming out from the side of J3X Inferno is not something that I take favor in. But of course, Infamous's draft definitely will be executed well by Infamous, yeah, although they are not on the roles and they are supposed to be in. But all in all, from the first game, they definitely will pull this off.
It does look that way, but obviously maybe we're going to see something extremely off meta. No, we're not going to see a Rome Celeste. I was hoping for it with the jungle crystal adagio. But yeah, really, we know where everything's going. Shingy on that Lance going captain. I think maybe J3X have just picked their comfort picks. Obviously, Baby is a very proficient box player, so this will be useful to see how Baby decides to play it, how aggressive he is, because obviously he can't poke for too much. And maybe that'll be enough to turn the tides in J3X's favour. I guess we're only going to have to wait and find out. We're probably going to see some early game aggression, because with this Adagio you have a lot of damage. You have the buff to try and give your team a bit more damage. And I think the weapon power Kestrel, if it's allowed to get ahead, will be extremely strong. But if it's actually is stalled and unable to get a snowball and get an early game lead, then you really lack on the damage compared to Vox. So it could be a pretty simple 1v1 for Baby if Spaghetti's not allowed to farm up. Then again, I would be surprised if Spaghetti is hyper farmed in this game. I'd expect very similar CS between Uni and Nibim on the Celeste. But we're going to see, I guess, if Spaghetti decides to take these backs. And he's actually going to leave them for Uni. So yeah, we're going to see even CS between the junglers.
Yep, and there's one thing as well. The possibility to snowball is definitely in favor of Infamous if you think about it, because of how Samuel's kit works. He has got a better level 2 as compared to Celeste. Granted, Celeste has got a core collapse, but damage-wise, definitely Uni will come out on top. And those Malices and Verdict in level 2, ooh, the amount of damage.
Again, speaking of Malice and Verdict, they're going to come out on Trent and will secure it. Doesn't actually get it. Somehow Baby managed to pick that one up, but they're going to go in. Dragon Blood contract is going to be popped. Kahlua does fall to the Kestrel. Now Baby is the next target. Sonic Zoom is not available. He's only level 1. Uni easily able to pick up the second kill. Shingy is baiting, I guess, onto Nibim Bims. He was super able to land on Spaghetti. Tail over the wall, not quite enough. And now the Dragon Blood contract, but the core collapse did land. Nibim Bim trying to do the work. He gets Spaghetti, but Shingy will return the favour, securing 3 kills for Infamous. 1 does move it up for J3X, and Uni is too aggressive. Just about. He's going to drift and dart backwards. Boots by Baby. And Shingy going to impale. Does land. There's the Dragon Blood contract. Will he be able to pop it? Uni does not able to get the basic attack to pop that Dragon Blood. And that is far too aggressive. Uni has built 5 crystal bits. When he went back to shop, he's decided that he was going to he does fall as well. So in the end, after the manic 6 kills in 2 minutes, it's 3-3.
Yep, it is kills evened out throughout, and that is really because of how aggressive Uni went in after securing 1 kill for himself and thinking that, you know, Kahlua or iBaby wouldn't be there for some odd reason. But all in all, I guess it is working well still in Infamous's favor, because we saw the amount of pressure that Uni can just comfortably put on the entirety of J3X Inferno.
Speaking of pressure, J3X are now going to try and apply their own in the lane. Minion Candy was used on the minions. Singing again, land the impale onto Nibim Bim. There's the pushback. 1 basic attack will pop that Dragon Blood. Nibim Bim is taking a lot of damage, but he's going to put it back out on Spaghetti Baby, taking the glimmer shots. And Infamous are trying to now be the aggressors. Uni drifting dark available in 3 seconds. I would expect Infamous to go in. We're going to put the core collapse. Bit preemptive, not quite able to do anything. Here's Uni, 5 crystal bits. What are you going to do? He's going to put the Malice, but he's not going to collect anything. Nibim Bim doing far more damage. Uni, it doesn't matter how many crystal bits you build. If you don't land the Malice, it's not going to do any damage. And so now both teams are going to back off, and it's very even in this early game.
Well, I mean, if you do not land the Malice, at least you have the Verdict. But we have information for the viewers and of course the audiences, and it's from the previous match between E8 and Nebulae. So the word has come in, and Nebulae took the match, the series 2-1. So congratulations, they will be moving on to the semi-finals, which will be played tomorrow.
One thing that is in the favour of J3X is that the B-side team has won every single game so far today. Nebulae won 2-1, they were B-side in that game, but you never know. Maybe Infamous wants to change that, and maybe take a lot of damage. He's going to try to. Shingy is going to use healing fast to keep himself alive. Uni is going to Malice onto Nibim Bim, but Nibim Bim trying to dodge it, doing really well. Baby's going to take the most of that damage, and Uni is on the back line. Baby almost going to full 1 shot, 1 kill. He's not available to try and pick that one up. Now he's going to try and Glimmer Shot, crystal power damage over the wall, but this time chasing on the turret. And now Spaghetti wants to push this wave. Narbin Bim is going to try and chase Uni. Not able to secure the trim, but the crystal sentry is there. What are you going to do, Narbin Bim? Going to get healed by Adagio. One Helio does do enough, and the basics secure the kill. Uni once again a little bit too aggressive. There's the Impel. Does manage to give Kestrel the kill. Now Baby once again so low. Heal from Adagio. Able to keep him topped up, and now Kalua, will he fall? Baby is going to try and do the plays. That was not a smart decision. He kept his Adagio alive, but he died for it in the end. And Infamous just starting to creep ahead.
But I guess all in all, that is where Adagio comes in handy. I guess your single targeted kill, and with a fountain picked up as compared to the side of Infamous, which do not have a heal except for the corrupted genius perk from Samuel. But I guess that is how the team comps going to work. So you have Kalua just dropping heals and just burning everyone down, puts in Burst of Judgment down, hopefully stuns the entirety of Infamous, and Nine Bim can just put out AoE damage, and of course iBaby just clean up afterwards.
Yeah, hopefully iBaby. Speaking of, on Spaghetti, going to pop Spaghetti that is, and the minion candy also used. Madison Murdoch going on to Nine Bim. He has got a possible, and so has Uni. And I'm going to be able to boots away from the Oblivion. Going to try and return the damage, but he's going to go so low. Shingy is going to try and dodge around these Helios. Hell does not quite connect. No, him is so low. One more basic will be able to secure the kill, but not able to do so. Now Shingy is going to try and help push this turret. Other than going to get the healing treant. Work back up towards the lane. Shingy using healing fast, getting back up to full health. And Baby is going to fall to Uni. That is going to be Celeste. Not quite going. Kestrel manages to secure the kill with the Glimmer Shot. Now Kalua is left alone, trying to defend this turret. Not going to have any chance to do such thing. And Infamous will get a turret and possibly a gold mine off this. Yeah, looks like they're going to try to turn their attention to it. I don't see any steal coming out from J3X.
Well, I mean, Infamous's comp have got a relatively quick, securing of objectives with Uni on that Samuel, and of course Weapon Kestrel as well. One shot, one kill just for style points will secure that gold mine, and nothing the entirety of J3X would do. They seemed like they had a chance, but honestly their chance is they just came from the slip-ups of Infamous. So if Infamous just play this, play the game on point, then honestly I don't see how J3X Inferno really would stand a chance whatsoever against the team comp, the poke heavy comp, the CC heavy comp.
Speaking of the poke, there's a lot of poke on tonight. Been by this Kestrel. Solar Blade Tyrant's Monocle doing so much work on Spaghetti, already fully completed. Whereas Vox going for this breaking point double Tyrant's build. That is a smart build. There's no sustain on Infamous, so no need for the Poison Shiv. Solar Storm a little bit wide. Baby can use Healing Fast and Fountain trying to keep himself alive. Oblivion does come through, and Samuel does get the kill. Vox unable to Sonic Zoom out of that Oblivion in time, and now Uni. Malice Verdict does not quite connect. He needs to get them back. Empowered basic attack. He does get it on Kalua. One shot does not quite connect Antonio. A lovely supernova from Nine Bim actually gets Shingy very low. One more basic from Adagio. It is enough to secure the kill. Kalua taking himself almost down to try and get the kill, and does secure it. Nine Bim is back to full health. He's going to try and see if he can sneakily kill someone, but unable to do so. And now J3X not too bad off that fight, but the gold lead is definitely pushing in Infamous's favour.
Oh, Uni going in for a 1v1 with Nine Bim.
He wants to go for it. Uni taking the basic attack. Uni is definitely not in the position to try and do this. He is dead. There is no way he's getting away. Minions chasing him. Crystal Sentry is there. Uni, can he avoid the basic attack from Sentry? No, he cannot. And that is the kill. Ended up Celeste getting the credit. Uni, he did his Drifting Dark to try and run away from Celeste, and in doing so, took the aggro of the front camp, so the front camps gave away his position, unable to port home, and that is some nice gold in the favour of J3X. But as I said before, definitely Infamous are ahead. There's no questioning that. And Spaghetti just going full gas cannon, as is Uni. It's very risky because if they get out of position, they could be in trouble.
Yep, and it's just down to Chingy, and we saw just now just how much Chingy is dedicated to his entire team. He was on a smidgen of health, one shot, one kills, lands on 9 Bim.
It's very impressive, but there was vision, so that doesn't count. Nice one shot, Labim Bim just standing still, but the kill from Adagio actually pretty significant to get that one shot health back on Nabim Bim. Supernova does land onto Uni. He's forced her back out of the Drifting Dark. He's going to dodge the Solar Storm. Nabim Bim back to full health, but Spaghetti's got 4 arrows of Glimmer Shot ready to try and do some damage. He's going to go into the minions instead. Now Nabim going aggressive, trying to land these Helios, setting up a zone. Shingy, combat rolls in, but unable to land. Impale does get it onto Kahlua instead. Push back onto Nabim, does secure a stun. He's going to use Healing Glass to get himself back up and healthy. And his glass cannon is almost everyone except Baby. So if people land skill shots, are going to be in trouble. Block on the Core Collapse and on the Oblivion. Spaghetti going very low. This Adagio, does not quite land on Spaghetti, but does land onto Uni. No stun, but a lot of damage to Uni. Now going in, a bit low on energy, but one Malice lands, hits two people, and now Uni has to back off out of his Drifting Dark, where he would have died to the Supernova. Diving in there, very low on energy. One Glimmer Shot, one basic does secure the kill. Kestrel within range, able to secure the kill on to Nibin Bim. And Infamous do go ahead in this team fight. Baby is forced to back off now. Kahlua not in a good position there. He's going to heal himself and slow Shingy, but Spaghetti's the one that's chasing. And actually, Kahlua will be able to get away, full on health. And now Baby could be in trouble. He's going to boost towards the shop and probably port home. No, Baby is going to infuse and try and fight. He is taking a 1v3 risk. Will Baby be able to make the plays? Tail is blocked. He's actually going to try and kill Shingy. And the Solar Storm picks up Uni in the back line. Now Shingy going to try and run away. Baby with the plays. Spaghetti is almost dead. And I did not expect Baby to be able to do this. Shingy, one more basic will be able to secure the kill, but he's going to combat roll over the wall. Can Baby follow with it? No, he cannot. He misses the Sonic Zoom. Baby doesn't be able to take Shingy. And that is a turnaround for J3X Inferno, to put it one way, and possibly a tier 1 turret. Spaghetti going to repop that and choose and come towards the lane, but has not got enough. He's actually going to get slowed by Kahlua. Flare does spot him out, and he's now going to try and run away. The Glimmer Shot's not quite there. Uni going in. This fight is going on forever. Baby pushed into the Oblivion by Shingy. This captain is fantastic, even though he's not a captain. And a double for the Samuel. Now Shingy going to push Kahlua back into the wall once he gets the stamina to do so. And doesn't actually quite secure the stun. That looks like this might be a surviving Kahlua. No, it will not. Shingy gets the kill. Ace in the end for Infamous, and I think that is it.
Wow, that fight just went on forever, and I guess I'm just speechless. You know, I guess it is not very good. I cannot say it's a very good fight coming up from both teams, because a lot of mistakes are spotted out, and it's just teams able to just, you know, capitalize on those little mistakes that the entirety of Infamous or J3X Inferno is making.
Shingy is in a bad position, going to have to run shop 2.5k gold. Can Shingy shop quickly? Not quite, but he's going to be able to get the Atlas, pick up some vision, probably work towards water to his next item, maybe even an Echo once he gets this vision down. And Infamous have successfully pushed J3X back, so they're going to start the gold mine, but I reckon there will be a contest this time from J3X Inferno. They don't know. They must know that something's up, because they don't see any members of Infamous in lane. Seth has got an ult, and the flare comes out. They must know now. Solar Storm does not quite. If that Solar Storm was on the gold mine, it would have stolen it, no question. But Shingy with the Gideon wall to push gold mine out of that Solar Storm. One shot onto Kahlua was blocked for Baby. Malice Verdict coming out for Samuel, not quite doing enough. That is the dodge onto the forecast, but the Supernova does land, pushing Adagio away so that the ult does not land on Uni, and it doesn't get stunned. Double Fountain, both at the same time. Both teams are going to be quite healthy. And Impale does not quite connect from Shingy, and Infamous did get the gold mine, so they're happy to back off ahead, and they're just going to clear this wave, clear the jungle, and the wave's pushed on their terms, so no need for them to push the lane. Go to lane quite yet.
Yeah, so I all in all, like I mentioned earlier on, it is just down to mistakes made by both teams, which extended the team fight, but definitely Infamous able to just pick up on more mistakes than J3X Inferno, being the more impatient team, I must say. Although Uni as a player, rather impatient himself, but J3X Inferno, we are seeing how they are playing at this point in time. Now we've been relatively kept healthy. Baby always constantly in the front line, and Kahlua just making full use of those bursts of judgment, but of course very good, you know, just responses and reaction coming from Chingy. We saw in the previous fight itself, Chingy actually used Gideon Wall to push Baby, or rather Kahlua, away, and thus keeping Uni and Spaghetti safe. But talking about safe and damages,
damage coming out from Uni, Malice, and Verdict does have Nabim. That'll be Nabim falling. So much damage. Baby's going to be the next target, and Kahlua going to boost away. One shot, one miss, does not quite do enough damage, but there's an Impale. Going to be a stun from Shingy. Here we go, and this will be Kahlua most likely falling. Shingy just needs a bit more stamina to get the stun, and that will be an 8, a triple kill. Spaghetti is ridiculous. 8 and 1. No need to take the Kraken because it's not up, and they don't need to take Goldmine because it's not worth it. Might as well just get the turret. And Kahlua, after that death, went, yeah, I need to pick myself up.
Well, I guess it's never too late to learn, never too late for a comeback in Vainglory. There is a saying though, 10k gold lead, point of no return, and Infamous definitely inching ever so much closer to that 10k, to the point of no return. Had they just take this gold mine, they definitely would secure that point of no return, but they will just
Spaghetti is hiding, trying to get some damage over the wall onto Celeste, but unable to do so. Spaghetti's actually in a bad position now, so Uni going to go in the Malice and verdict onto Kahlua instead, and Solar Storm comes through, hits all three members of Infamous. Uni taking the brunt of that damage. He's still going to try and heal himself up with the Eve, with a bit of poke, and now the teams are going to back off.
Yep, but Spaghetti though maybe will get caught out by the set of J3X Inferno, but probably good communication just told Spaghetti to bugger off to the backs, get more farm up, and when they are all in threes, then execute that team fight. The next team fight will definitely be around Kraken, and if J3X Inferno manages to steal this Kraken with a Solar Storm that's coming up in 10 seconds, then probably they might have, or they can work around a comeback, because of we know Nightbeam on the Celeste takes turret and objectives so fast, and you know, they just cannot do team fights at this point in time because, like I said, they do not have a very reliable CC as compared to that of Infamous. They don't have as much poke because a lot of poke coming up from Spaghetti and that of Uni. They don't have a solid front liner as well.
Yeah, it looks like Shingy has got the War Treads and is going to get Echo next item. Spaghetti fully built except from boots and infused. It's a good time for Infamous to fight. Spaghetti, even though he's not been hyper farmed this game, has just managed to hit 182 CS like it's nothing. He's just been farming in lane like a beast, and Infamous certainly are ahead. So Spaghetti is fully built. It looks like they really want to fight. Shingy going to go over the wall, trying to find Nibim Bim. But I think the smart move here from Infamous, yeah, they're going to do it. Just go to Kraken, force a fight, and if they don't fight you, you get the Kraken and you push down these two Vein Crystal turrets. You're going to win. But Spaghetti has a different idea to me. He's going to wait. He's just going to wait in the bush for Baby to face check, and he will. Baby is going to face check Spaghetti, going to take a lot of damage, and there's a started by Shingy onto Nibim Bim. He's changing targets. Spaghetti now going on to Celeste, easily able to pick up the kill. Now Kahlua can try and move away. Atlas does land by Shingy onto Baby. Going to be stunned up. Atlas has now expired. Baby can finally work. He's going to be impaled. Does block it, but he cannot block the damage. He hasn't got a metal jacket. That's a double for the Kestrel. Ace, who needs Kraken, Infamous are just going to take the game.
Yep. Very, very interesting positioning coming up from Spaghetti right there. And I guess it worked out infinitely for Infamous. We saw a Scout Trap right there. A red Scout Trap, which means it actually belongs to J3X Inferno. J3X Inferno all the while knew that Uni and Chingy was in the brush, and thus, you know, they just decided to go into the brush, hopefully being able to catch out that of Uni and Spaghetti, take them down and turn the attention on the Chingy, but it was just a tad too late because they don't know the positioning of Chingy, or rather, they don't know the positioning of Spaghetti, and Spaghetti was just in the top, in the mustache brush, hoping for an ambush.
Yeah, certainly wasn't a completely clean game with some kills going to both sides. But in the end, I think it was just Infamous's composition, as we said, was just fantastic. They had Weapon Kestrel was allowed to farm up, allowed to scale to late game, and there was really nothing that Nibim could do against that. Only having 2 items, not even having the clockwork completed on your Celeste, it's just horrible because you haven't got the Eve either for